Good morning, my cubs, my pride and joy as Pride of Lions. We're just really glad to be here today. And we have Ricardo with us, the dream expert. So Ricardo, tell us why you're a dream expert.
Yeah, thanks for having me first. So I hold my mic like this. The 1 second. So it's live, so we see that's live.
Always,
Why?
it's okay.
So I do it like this. Why I am the dream expert? Now that's like the question why I'm made on earth, because since I was young, I'm a dreamer. I see potential in things where people don't see potential in it, because that's what dreaming is. You see things what other people doesn't see. Like for example, some people see young people, they are addicted or depressed and think that's a lost generation. But if you are a dreamer, you see potential, and you see, no, there's a generation who can change the world. So that's something I do naturally and from my youngest age. But I think 2 years ago, I discovered with all the activities I do, to my music, speaking, I did it for a long time, but I was just struggling. But what is that common ground? What's the thing that's my thing? Because I speak about a lot of topics. So 2 years ago, I thought, but the common ground is dreaming. That's something I do that without any pressure, so easy, and most people, they don't. It's very difficult for most people. So that's what I told to my team. I think dreaming is the coming thing, and my whole team said as a choir to me, but we know already you are for years the dream expert. So that's how I became the dream expert.
That's
But
awesome.
to be honest, from the womb of my mother. Yeah.
Oh, oh, wonderful. So what are you doing right now? I mean, what kind of things are you involved in at the moment?
Firstly, I'm involved in an organization we started in Corona time, called FearlessGeneration. And I love your name, Roaring Like Lions, because in our logo, there's a tiger in it. The tiger is our symbol. So I love tigers. We were just thinking about lion or tigers, but tigers, the way the character is how we are. And we focus there on young people from 60 to 25 years old, to help them to discover, reach, and live their dreams in a fearless and healthy and long-term way, because it's easy to go to your destination, but it's hard to stay there. Despite the circumstances, because we can't guarantee there won't be negative circumstance in life, but you can learn that despite the circumstance, to live fearless, to live happy, to live successful, what the meaning will be for your life. And besides that, I also give speaking. I speak for leaders, potential leaders, and young people, of course. I write books. I make music. I do also comedy. So I do a lot of ways, but in all the things I do, the common ground is I want to help. I want to help people, and especially young people and leaders, to help them to discover, reach, and live their dreams in a fearless way.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you have workshops going on, or masterminds, or summits, or how do you go about this?
Mainly what I do right now, because from our own organization, what we do, we make television programs where I have also a talk show where I'm the host. It's in Dutch right now, but maybe it will change on the day. That's what we do out of the organization, and also other types of programs from other presenters of our team. Besides that, mostly I will be as a guest speaker on the house. People ask me to speak, to give a workshop or training. I'm busy with now making a special online course because a lot of people
good.
ask me for it. But I'm a little bit struggling because, it's very easy to give people lessons and inspiration in an abstract way. But I
Right.
don't want to be fussy. I want to be practical, but not practical in a way you need to do it like this, but practical in a way that people can discover the way they need to do it.
Right.
And that's very difficult to put in a course.
It
So
is.
we're just busy with shaping it, and now for 2 years, because I'm not happy with how the outcome will be. We test it with people, with small groups. They are close to us, and we test it, and I'm not happy with the outcome yet. So I'm not launched it, and of course my books, because before Corona time, I write a book of 250 pages that was called Fearless. But in Corona time, we start the organization Fearless Generation, and because we targeted on 60 to 25 years old, I was thinking, but this book is too many pages for this generation. that's not helpful. You know what I do? I'm gonna rewrite the book and split it up in a 16-part series. It was started with a 12-part series of pocket books, and the first 2 books are already out on Amazon. The System of Success, The Root of Fear, and The Message of the Cross. So it will be small, practical, inspirational, but easy to read. So like I speak right now. So that are things I do, and where I come.
Cool. So we can get your books on Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna
look
it up here real quick and see if I can find your books for you so I can show everybody where they're at.
Stacks.
Ah, I think I had it. Okay, we're gonna do a little screen sharing here today for you.
Yeah, it's good.
And here you are.
Yeah, that's my music. Yeah, that's my music.
And let's see, does it have
book paperback? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over to books and see what we can find.
Yeah, that's the Dutch version, and that's the English version. It's the second.
Right there. The Message of the Cross.
That's the third part. The Root of Fear, that's the second part, and the System of Success in Dutch and English, that's the first part.
Okay. Are these on Kindle too, or are they just paperback?
On this moment, just paperback. We because we were busy with finding out we can do it also on Kindle, and we maybe will do it, but when most people read my books and read things, they want a change in their lives, and it's much easier to have something physical to hear or to read, to act with it, than just online. So we're struggling, is that the best way to achieve the goal that we have with the books?
Right.
So we're not sure if we want to do that yet. On this moment, not, but maybe later on.
Okay, good. Let's see, we'll take a little look inside this and see what they have. The Root of Fear. There we go. Table of contents. Human problem, the problem of fear, the root of fear, fight the root of fear. Nice. Good, easy, nothing that's going to be overwhelming to anybody so they think, oh man, this is too much. Looks like it's wonderful, just easy to read and gets right to the situation. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
That's what I like, and that's, I believe, as an inspirator or a speaker, I study theology also, and philosophy and psychology. And most speakers, they just give knowledge. But as a speaker, it's not your job to give knowledge. As a writer, it's not, and especially when you write nonfiction, it's not your job to give knowledge, but it is your job to explain how you can apply that knowledge in your life. Because the knowledge, even in this time, for example, you can go on Google and find all the knowledge you want, but you can find on Google how you can apply it. That's why you listen to a speaker. That's why you want to read or some author, or sometimes also a musician, or it can be anyone. But that's the reason that people go to this kind of person, because they can explain them, how can I apply this knowledge into my life, so my life will be better than it is right now.
Okay, can you give us some examples of some of the applications that you teach?
Now, the biggest application, I was just listening in the public transportation of a podcast that came out on Sunday evening. And mostly I go just with the flow, so I just go out of my heart what's come to mind for the audience on that moment. And what I see in the line of the last podcast, and that's one message I love, in Western society, we're so busy with proving ourselves. We try to get likes, and there's nothing wrong with getting likes. Let's be honest. But we try to get likes. We try to get approval of our husband or our wife or our children or our friends or our boss on the job, or it could be anything. Right. But when we miss that, and when everything's fall away, we get burned out, because that's the biggest disease I had 2 times in my life when I was younger also. So I'm experiencing it. And one of the key things I teach about is being approved without doing stuff.
Ah.
So just being okay with yourself without doing stuff, because you are not what you're doing. You are who you are, but what you do is not something who you are. A lot of people, they think the title I have or the things I do, that's my identity. But when you stop doing that stuff, you will be empty, you will be miserable, you will be depressed. But if you go to the core of who you are, and that's your mission, that's your dream, that's your cause, that's the reason why are you on this planet. And everyone, that's something that's different for us as human beings from animals. Animals are good, we need to respect them, we need to love them. I have cats, my girlfriend has a dog, it's outside right now. But what makes us different, we have a cause, we have a mission, we have something deeper. And if you don't discover that and live up to that, because that's in your identity, and you live up to the expectations of people or of social media or your boss or your husband or your wife or your children, there will be a day that you find out, I'm miserable, I'm depressed, why do I live? So that's one of the core messages. Stop doing stuff, stop trying approval. You are worth not of what you're doing, but who you are.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key messages. And I had discovered myself, I was addicted to approval in my young years, because I got a lot of rejection from my father. My father rejected me when I was 7. When they get divorced, he didn't get any contact. So I missed that. And also from people around. And I get addicted to approval. I was the clown in the city. I take drugs, alcohol to get approval of men. But on the moment I discovered, not only in my head, because I already know it in my head, but also in my emotions, that I'm approved without doing stuff, it changed my whole life.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, one of the talks that I give on value is to tell yourself that you are worthy, you are enough, and you do have value in you
Yeah.
because you have only lived this life. You are the only one who has lived your
Yeah.
life. And because of that, you have so much value to give others because nobody else can do what you can do.
Yeah. Too.
Yeah. All
There's
right.
only one you. And
That's
that's something. Depression. I was 4 years at depression, and people say depression is a disease. It's not a disease. What depression is, it's one thought, and it comes in several ways. But the key thought in your head that's coming like a train through your head the whole day is, why do I live? And it comes like, I'm not worthy. Do I have a word? And all kind of. But the key question is that, and if you can answer that question, why do you live? Depression stops. You can be sometimes have a bad day. I have a bad day too. We have all.
Yep.
But you can't be depressed anymore if you have the answer on that question, because on the moment that you think that, you have the answer. And because you have the answer, you can give the answer to yourself and it will stop. That's the solution to depression.
Yeah.
And that's just a way of things. The reason people marry the wrong guy or the wrong wife. I talk a lot about relationships because young people, dating is one thing they struggle a lot with. But why people get in the wrong relationship, but also friendships, is because they don't know why they are living. Because most marriages, they split up not because of the small things, the irritations. Like people say but I had a divorce myself, so I know it. They split up because she wants to go that way in life and you want to go that way in life.
Mm,
But you didn't know when you get married.
right.
So if you know where you want to go in life, when I met my girlfriend, do you know what my first question to her was? I thought, she's a nice girl. And my daughter liked her too. And I thought, my first question was, how do you see your life in 10 years if everything is possible? And I let her explain it in detail for me. If there was coming out a picture that I was thinking, oh my God, no, we don't go on a date. No, not because it's bad, that picture then. It was a good picture. That's why we got start dating. But because she want to go in that direction, I want to go in that direction. And if we both want to fulfill our life, we can do it together. One of us need to compromise. And if one of us need to compromise in our mission in life, in our identity, one of us or both can be happy. But in friendships, the same. Choose friends who go in the same direction as you.
Yes.
Choose a job, a company that goes in the same, and of course, it can be 5 degrees to the left or to the right, but not 180 degrees the other way around. Because you will be miserable or they will be miserable.
Yep. Yep, definitely.
And so it's so important for every choice you made. And everything I do, I align it with my mission. And if something comes on my path, I think it's not in line with my mission, I say no. And I don't have any difficulties anymore with saying no.
Good, good. Yeah, that's something a lot of people have a hard time doing. I know I have, and I'm learning how to say no to things
I
now,
had it
but
too.
it's like, yeah, if it's, I have someone who wanted to speak on my show, but my whole show, as you can see here, is bringing value and perspective.
Yeah.
And if they can't do that, I really don't want them speaking because I want our people to get something from it, to be able to use it in their life, to use it in business and to grow and to achieve and to soar. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same you do because you want to go there. And if someone on your show want to go there, it's not bad that they want to go there.
No, not at all.
But it don't fit in what you are doing.
Yep.
The same
Yep.
with the team. We had a team of 15 people. The first conversation I had with them was that I asked them, how do you see your life in a year? What do you want to do? What's your goal? Not what are your skills or your
Right.
education, because I can give you skills. I can
Yep.
learn you skills. I can give you the education. No problem. But I can give you a passion. And a passion, where comes the passion? What's the source of a passion? Is I want to do this because I'm made for this. So I need to know where you're made for. And if you're made for something different than we as an organization, I love you, but you can be part of the team.
Yeah.
Because either way, we will hurt you and your mission, or you hurt us.
Right.
Or
Right.
both. But for sake of that I'm loving you as a person, as a human being, and I love every human being, even though the baddest person, then I say, yeah, we don't need to do this. We don't do this. And people say, but you had a lot of people, and when you started, everyone needs a lot of volunteers because we started as volunteers. And you say no to so much people. I say yes. I say no. Because it will break us down. I want to build a team that is so strong that it can handle a big crowd.
Right.
But it needs something that needs to grow. A lot of people think, easy. I said earlier in this conversation, it's easy to go to the top. It's easy to go to the destination. It's easy if you want to be a best-selling author or a famous singer or a famous presenter. If you know the tricks, it's easy to be that. But it's hard to stay that.
Yep.
Because how much people they come there and 1 year later, no one heard of them anymore. Because the dreams brings you, but characters hold you there.
Yep.
And that's something that needs to grow, and that takes time to grow. You can only be so big as the leaders you have can handle. The character they have. If my leaders, if we don't have yet an audience of 1 million, and I know it will be, but I know also I say to my team, but on the moment now, we as a team, maybe I can handle it right now, but we as a team, we can handle 100,000 or 1 million listener and audience because it takes a responsibility. We as leaders, as 15 people, we can handle it right now in our character. So we don't want it.
Yeah.
But in our McDonald's society, we want the quick fix. We want the quick grow. We want the quick. But to be honest, I think most people, if you can tell them, go for the quick fix or go for the long-term fix, I think most people think, no, in that case, go for the long term.
Yeah.
Not the easy one.
Definitely. Yeah, and you brought up a good point that you want your whole team to be heading in the same direction. In a devotion this week, it's like the leader of the group leaves the group thinking the group's going to go on and do what it does, and within a year the group is gone. And it's like the leader didn't teach the group, but the group wasn't there going for the same direction. If the whole group is going for the same direction, when one leaves, they can still keep going in that direction. It's not going to hurt it, and it can keep growing and keep growing. So there's reasons why we say no to certain things.
And as a leader, to go on that point, a lot of leaders, because sometimes as a leader, I had to learn it myself. It took me 13 years 13 years for my dream to come to release into my destination when I was 30. And of course, I did speaking in that time, and I did a lot of things, but it took not 13, 17 years, because I was 13, and 30, 17 years longer. But I had to learn that some people say, but you can lose your best people. No, you release your best people, because it's all about the people. And leadership is not about you. If 1% in your body thinks that leadership is about you, and a lot of leaders think that, a lot of leaders in position thinks that, stop with it. Leadership, and I had to learn it, it takes a lot. It's all about serving others.
Yes. Yep.
For them, not for you, for them. You are there for them, to serve them, to help them, to flourish them, to make them better than you, to let them grow. And sometimes they won't go on your organization anymore. Yeah, and they leave and they build their own thing. And if you can be happy to, for example, before this conversation, I talk with one of my team members. He's also busy with starting 2 companies. How do you say it in English? In Holland, we say gezondheid. But he's starting with 2 businesses. And I said, okay, and how do you see maybe Fearless in it or not? And how can I help you with building your businesses too? Everyone in my team, they have their own businesses or also their own side jobs, or being an actress, or and I build that too. And they when we started and when they get to know me, they were amazed that it's not about Fearless. No, because Fearless is just the people.
Right.
As a leader, I'm there. My job is to protect you when you make that's my job. Everything they do wrong in the world, even though it's on the company name, I say, as a leader, it's my fault. People can blame me. I'm your shield. Of course, inside I can say to you and discuss with you things, but in the outside world, even though they're their own company, I say, as your leader, if you do something wrong in your company, people need to come to me. It's my fault. But that takes a big responsibility. So if you are still holding on to the approval of man, you can do this.
No.
Because this is hard. Then you think, okay, people will think now, because he makes mistake, did about me. Oh, we need to get rid of him. Or this. No. And so that's why that identity and that strong foundation in your character is so important. And I had to learn, people see me laughing right now, but I had to learn it with tears. Had a lot of tears. To build it up and to build it up and to build it up and to build it up. And every time I say I'm a Christian, I say to God, but I want to start now into my dream. It's enough with the learning stuff. And God says, no, you're not ready yet. I need to build you stronger because you can't handle it right now, what I want to give you. It's a little bit like some know the story of David and Saul. Saul and David were both anointed. They were both had the same gift to be the king. But Saul did it for 1 generation and he collapsed. David, it took a longer time to get to there, but it stays there for 1,000 years. And what was the difference? Saul get anointed, get the kingdom, get the position directly. David get anointed before he. I say always, David was a sheep, a shepherd.
Right.
And he need to kill. I love roaring like lions because I come to the lions. He killed a bear to protect the sheep.
Right.
But the bear takes out of David a lion killer. And so he need to protect the sheep from the lions. And the lions take out of David a giant killer.
Yes.
And the giant killer take out of David the king.
That's
but
right.
in that process, he faced rejection. Because if do you have children?
Yes.
I think, yeah. Oh yeah, you said
Yes.
about, yeah. So I have a daughter. I have one daughter. But if you have multiple children, never do what the father of David do when Samuel come. I need to anoint one of your sons, and that Samuel need to say to the father, you know, the son is not right here, and that the father says, oh yeah, I have somewhere some son left. He forgot his own son. Come on. Then he goes to his brothers who were in a war to bring them food. That's a good stuff to do. He come there to bring them food on the battleground. How many little brothers do that?
Yeah.
That's, and what does what did they what does they what do the brothers say? They say, "What are you doing right here?" Okay, very loving. Then he thought maybe in Saul you find a father figure, because it was later on his father-in-law, because he married with the daughter of Saul. And he plays some music. And what happened? Saul take a weapon and he throw it at him and try to kill him. And so let's be honest, he got a heavy story, but it makes his character in a way that, not that he never make mistakes anymore, but even when he makes mistakes, he could reflect himself. Sometimes it takes a little while. But he reflect himself and he regret and go also to his people, to the people he may lead. I make a mistake. I need to regret this. Can you forgive me? And that's something you had to learn. That's something that's not a natural thing for us as human beings anymore.
No. And forgiveness can play such a huge role in our own lives even if the other person doesn't forgive us, you've made the effort to say, hey, I was wrong, please forgive me. And it's so healing, and there's a lot of power in forgiveness, especially forgiving ourselves. Well, our time is already up. Gosh, we've got to get you back here and do some more talking. This is great. I really thank you for being here, Ricardo. This is just amazing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So my pride and joy, my Cubs, you can see the replay on YouTube, and definitely go check out his books, check out the website, and
about the books. About the books, before we end it, for your audience, we have a special offer, because I think it will be in the description or something. We write it down. But if on the books for your audience for the next 3 months, on every book, we give a 40% discount. And they need to order them to the website books.fearlessgeneration.nl with the discount code Lions Like Lions something. But it will be in the description. So if you want one of the books, now it's for 40% discount on every book, not on the total price, but on every book. And then you need to buy it right there. So especially for your audience, for your beautiful lions like they are.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Ricardo, for being on here. And my pride and joy, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Next time. Bye.